Hi guys, Jess here. Today I want to give you my top 5 tips to help you start reducing toxic chemicals in your life. We've got Violet here in the back. Hi Violet. There's a bit of glare off the water. I'll just show you where we're at. We're in beautiful Kingscliff. Look at the creek. Kingscliff Creek. Okay, so my top 5 tips to help you start living a more toxic-free life, sorry. So quick and easy ways to make a big impact in your life to start reducing chemicals without actually compromising your quality and your standard of living. So yeah, I'm a mum of 3 kids. I am making, the last few years we've been making a big shift towards reducing toxic chemicals. So I've just had thyroid cancer, so this is very, very much on my radar. So reducing toxic chemicals, reducing chemicals in our food, in our home, in our cleaning products, and in our personal care products. So my top 5 tips are going to include 1 bonus tip. So for those of you who are watching the start of the video, you get 1 bonus tip. So my number 1 bonus tip for living toxin-free and having a toxin-free home is to open all your doors and windows. So it's to do with air quality. So if we can open all our doors and windows every day, there's studies that show that the air inside our homes is 3 times more toxic than the air outside. So if we can open our windows and doors every single day, if we can include some beautiful indoor plants. Now we used to have indoor plants all the time, but then little babies came along, toddlers, and make a big mess. So we got rid of all our plants just to, get rid of the risk of kids getting into the plants and into the soil and the dirt. But now we're switching back to having indoor plants because NASA has recently done a clean air study, and that shows that there are certain plants, and I'll give you the top 4 plants for reducing toxic chemicals in your home and bettering the air quality. So the top plants to remove pollutants, and they're also hardy as well, and I've got them written down because I couldn't remember them. The spider plant, the weeping fig, vitatum, which is a flaxy looking plant. You get them at Bunnings. And actually all of these plants are available at IKEA very cheaply. So if you're at IKEA, grab some of these plants. Chrysanthemums, now that's mum's, we know it's Mother's Day flowers plant. So if you can get some chrysanthemums, put them in some beautiful pots, have them around the house. And I just love that it's the Mother's Day flower. So it makes sense that we can get some mothering happening in our house and cleaning out the air. So yeah, so opening the windows and doors every single day, giving that place a good air out, getting some of these beautiful plants next time you're at IKEA, Bunnings or Big W, some beautiful pots, and they're going to really purify the air. And the other way to improve your air quality is to get rid of all the synthetic fragrances. So no more air freshener. Try and reduce anything with a fragrance in it. So fragrances are highly dubious when it comes to personal care products. Things like candles and incense, these are all bad for air quality. So look more towards getting a diffuser so you can purify the air and use some beautiful essential oils. So that is my bonus tip. Air quality. Look after the air quality inside your home. So now we're just going to go for my top 5 tips to help you start reducing toxins. So number 1 is about floors. So looking after your floors and maybe introducing, and we already have it in our house. It's, I was grown up with this, and that is looking at having a no shoes policy. So not wearing shoes inside. So when you have little kids like this one at the back, crawling around on the floor, you don't want, well, the most common way to have pesticides introduced into your home is from the bottom of people's shoes. So have a no shoe policy, and we have that in our house. We always have. I love having clean floors, and just be mindful of what you're using on your floors. So I like to use just the very bare basic. So some vinegar and some essential oil or some doTERRA cleaning concentrate. That's all you need. And the other thing when it comes to floors is getting a good vacuum cleaner, one that has a HEPA filter. So contaminants in our home and toxins that are hanging around, the dust will attract them and the dust holds onto those toxins. So if you can get a good vacuum cleaner with a HEPA filter, get rid of the dust, have a nice clean floor, dust-free home, and you're going to do wonders for the toxicity level in your home. Number 2 is quit eating numbers. Quit eating numbers. It's very hard to do in today's society when we have so many. We have supermarkets full of food-like products. So the aisles, most of those aisles are food-like products. The food actually lives around the outside edge, and we see mums and dads filling up their trolleys with what they think is really nutritious food with star quality, you know, the healthy heart ratings and the healthy star ratings. And really the ingredients panel, you know, tells the truth. They're full of numbers. So try to go for the outside of the supermarket, and that can be hard, definitely. Just even if you can just remove 1 or 2 items out of your trolley every week that has numbers in it and try and look for a better alternative, then you're doing wonders for your family. So it's not about changing everything in one step, it's just about gradually reducing numbers. So if you can reduce some numbers and reduce some of the food-like products and swap it around for, you know, real whole foods, then you're doing your family benefit. So that's number 2. Number 3 is just start swapping out some plastic. I mean, we all have plastics. It's hard to escape plastic these days. If you can make sure the kids have glass or metal drink bottles and yourself, and then just start swapping out the plastic out of the kitchen for glassware, glass containers, Pyrex, and metal, things like, there's so many metal lunch boxes around these days, glass, the equivalent of Tupperware containers, but they're glass with glass lids. And also we've gotten rid of all our plastic kids' cups and plates and bowls just gradually, and we're replacing them with the bamboo. So even if just once a month you do a little bit of a clear out and try and replace some of those products, wait till things go on special and swap them out. And number 4 and 5 of my hot tips is to start looking towards replacing some of your cleaning products and personal care products. So number 4, cleaning products. It's very easy to replace. As you run out, just look for a cleaner, low tox alternative. So things like the bench sprays, the toilet cleaners, what you're using on your floors. If we can just look towards more low tox alternatives, and you know, don't change your whole cleaning cabinet in one day. Just as you run out, look for a cleaner alternative, and it's really, really easy. If anyone's interested, hi Bridie, just pop your email below, and I've got lots of information on some really simple tips, recipes and tips for cleaning products. And personal care products. So this is where we are starting to really change things up in our home. So, you know, things like hand soap, dishwashing liquid, bath gel, bath soap, bubble bath, the toilet cleaner, the cream cleanser, which is like Jif. These are all super, super easy to make. You can make them all in a couple of minutes, and you're using toxin-free cleaning products in your house. So the number 1 place to absorb toxins in your home is actually in the shower. So you're turning the hot water on, you're opening your pores, and you're absorbing all of these chemicals into your bloodstream. You're tipping parabens and chemicals on your head, shampooing your hair and conditioning it. So my suggestion is just look to change one thing a month. So if you can change your toothpaste to a more natural alternative, 1 month, the next month, look to changing your hand soap. And that way it's slowly easing your family in. And don't beat yourself up about what you've been doing in the past. You know, we had bath gel that had those stupid plastic microbeads in it that washed down the drain into our waterways. The fish eat them. Violet. the fish eat them, and then we go and eat the fish, and it's a horrendous cycle of plastic for pointless nothing microbeads to make the bath gel look fancy on the supermarket shelf. So you know, we haven't been perfect. This is just a slow transition, and don't beat yourself up about what has happened in the past. Just start empowering yourself to make some changes, and just, even if you just change one thing a month, you're making a massive impact. And you know, we look at our children, like little Violet over here. This is the only way I was going to get to do a Facebook Live, is if I put her in the car, because she's having a horrendous time with her teeth. And so yeah, back to the kids. You know, children are not just little adults. They're not little adults. They are kilo for kilo. They are getting more chemicals, more toxic rubbish into their bloodstream, into their bodies, than any generation that has ever been. So you know, more air pollution, more food and water contamination, not contamination, but pollutants in the food and water. And their, you know, organ systems aren't designed to cope with that toxic load. So, you know, they're not just little adults. They are little bodies that are struggling to get rid of all the toxins in their environment. So anything that we can do to reduce that, I mean, if I think I have a high toxic load, then what my children are going to receive over their lifetime is going to be massive. There's so much more plastic, so much more chemicals in every aspect of every corner of their life, let alone at home. So the very least we can do is just minimize the toxins at home. And if that means just changing your hand soap, then that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So so they're my top 5 tips. Now, if you missed the bonus tip, you need to go back and watch the beginning of this video. So I'm going to post it, then you can go back and watch the beginning of the video and get my bonus tip, which is quite good because it's quite exciting and it's cheap, and it's going to make your house beautiful and amazing and great environment, and yeah, really good. So go back and listen to that top tip. And I want to hear from you guys. Hi, Vanessa. I want to hear from you guys if you want my recipes. So if you pop your email, either private message me or pop your email address below, and I will email you some very simple recipes for getting your cleaning products and your personal care products in order. And another quick shout out, because this weekend in Grafton, so the Clocktower Hotel in Grafton, we're having a workshop and we're going to be demonstrating a lot of these products. So we're going to do hand soap and baby wipes and room spray, getting rid of those synthetic fragrances, which are endocrine disruptors. You know, every second person these days, I have had thyroid cancer this year, and every second person I speak to is telling me they have a thyroid problem. Why is this? Why is this? We need to get rid of the chemicals. We need to get rid of the fragrances. It's such an unregulated industry, the cleaning and the chemical personal care product industry. They don't actually have to disclose anything on the back of those bottles when it comes to their trade secret fragrances, and even sun cream and the nano particles, you know. So yeah, go back, listen to my bonus tip, and then my 5 top tips for reducing chemicals in your home. And if you're in the Grafton area, I'd love to see you on Saturday, 3 o'clock at the Clocktower Hotel. Just send me a message, let me know that you're coming, because we have limited seats, but we will be demonstrating, and we've got some really great giveaways too. Be demonstrating how to make some of these very basic, simple things that are going to change the toxic load of your family. So send me a message, like my post, share it, and go back and watch the beginning. Thanks, guys. See ya. Say bye, Violet. Say bye.